Yeah, and today we're going to do a bit of file reading in C#. So let's go ahead and create an empty project. Let's call it simple file reader. And let's just initialize our Git. And we'll just clear out this hello world which comes with them all. And bring in using system.io, because we're not going to use any fancy readers, we're just going to handle files. We're using a StreamReader today. So let's go ahead and declare our path to our file. And I'm going to use a relative path, which means it's going to be relative to the executable or the current selected directory. But in this case, it's going to be to our executable. So if exists, so that's just a shorthand for what I'm using. It's if file.exists, the path to the file. So if the file exists, in this case it's not if file does not exist because it's an exclamation mark. So if it doesn't exist, handle it however you want. That's beyond the scale of this video, but nice to draw attention to some error handling. So if the file does exist, we're going to use a variable called fileRead, and then we're going to use StreamReader class and the path to the file. So this will create a variable called fileRead that is a stream to the file. So within the using, the file is now open. The file handle is called fileRead, and while not stream file read dot end of file. So when it's not the end of the file, well, it's not the end of the file, go ahead and do something. So in this case, we're just going to write a line to the console. I'll go to file read dot read line. It's going to loop through until the end of the file and write it out to the console. So go ahead and we'll run it. In the first run, the file doesn't exist because we don't have it as a relative path. In this case, I'm going to go to the relative path, the executable is right there, the little black icon, and I'm going to paste my file into this directory once I find it. I'm going to go ahead. We have it, now it's there, my file, and it is called myfile.data. We'll just go ahead and confirm that with the information, and there we go, myfile.data. So I'm going to go ahead and execute it again, and now we can see that we've got the contents of the file. And we can see from the contents that it is a comma separated value file, or CSV, but we're going to leave it as .data just now. I'm just going to add in some bookends onto it, reading from file and end of reading from file, so we can see it on the terminal window at the bottom. So what this does is it's now opened the file and read it line by line until it reaches the end of the file, but that's no use. So we're going to go ahead and create a new class. We're going to call it person, and within person we're going to declare some instance variables. So first name, surname, email, gender and IP, the values that's inside the CSV file. We're going to leave a blank constructor, and we're going to create an R constructor that will pass in an array of values. And within that array we're going to get first name, surname, email, gender and IP. That's because that's just the values in it. You may notice that the values in the array starts at 1 because index 0 is an ID number that we don't need, so we're just going to ditch it. So in this case we're going to have to use it using Simple File Reader, the project name, so that it actually uses the person class. From there we're going to read in a line, we're going to split it on the comma, and we're going to pass the split array to the person object constructor. So person new temp person, new object, new person file read dot read line dot split on the comma. So read a line, split it on a comma, and send it to a new person object. The person is now created, we need to store it. So we're going to create a list of person, we're going to call it people, and then we're going to initialize the blank list. And from there we can go ahead and add a person to the people list. Temp person, people.add temp person. Now we need to be able to confirm that way, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just override the toString so that we get some output that's useful to us. So public override toString, and we're going to overwrite that base toString with, I'm just going to do some manual concatenation of strings. So this individual is called plus forename plus surname, and then we're going to put the this dot operators in. There we go, we have our overridden toString now. We can go back to our project, delete our blank constructor. We have done a new people and added to the list. So we're going to go ahead and debug it. We're going to put a watch on the people list, and then we're going to run it again and step over, and we can see the people list filling up with the values getting read in from the file. So we've got 10 values in it, so we're going to go ahead and skip. So we have our breakpoint, we've removed it, we have our toString, and our program is now reading in the purple and adding the person object and adding it to a list of people. I'm going to go ahead and commit that. And that's enough for just now. We're reading in from a file and using the data.